women engineers in Nigeria under their umbrella for the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, Apwen. I've been so keen in improving what was introduced just a few years ago. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, catching the young girls at their young age while still at school. To what extent would you say this has been achieved?
Thank you so much. Just like you rightly said, STEM has been in the system for a while now. That's science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Yes, fine. Yes, the Association of Professional Women Engineers, they've done a lot. Close to 40 years now since the association has been at the forefront for the advocacy of female to come into the fold of STEM studies, that is in particular engineering. And I can tell you categorically that they've gone far, and even the impact is being felt positively. But it has come to the time that we need to, go back to the drawing board. Okay, all this while we've been asking these students, the girls, the students in the higher institution, the young graduates, we've been asking them, do this, be steadfast, remain in the STEM, remain in the engineering. Then we need to go back to the drawing board, as in, what are the challenges you're facing? Fine, you've been in the engineering field, you've been in the STEM, but there's some challenges that they're supposed to be facing, because as STEM oriented people, we know that when there is no, when there is yes, there will be no. When there is positive, there's always negative. That's why any STEM oriented person will be very proactive, always expecting the negative part or whatever. That's why there's control. Wherever you have a particular project, there must be a control to check, balance whatever you're doing. That what if? I know what if I even made mention of now is always known in mathematics and computer science. So what if it doesn't work the way I want it to be? So that's why we need to be it. Yes, a lot has been done in STEM advocacy, especially from the angle of my association, that's Apwen. So now what we're focusing on now is that, okay, they've agreed to be there. They find their interest in it. Now, what are the challenges they're facing? But as women, we have a lot of challenges. Let's face the reality. Be it at work, be it in schools, while we're in school with our male counterparts, be it, so we know. But let's come together. What are these challenges? How do we now make solution for it? Then let me bust a bubble. Recently, one of my mentees got a job on island. That was last week precisely. So when she called me, because she just put to bed. The baby is just 1 month plus. So when she called me as in, Ma, I've gotten a job. I said, oh, thank God. I said, but what about our princess? What's going to happen to our princess? She now said, Ma, it's like there's a crutch within that organization. I was like, my God, this is fantastic. Because I remember like 15 years ago when I first had my first baby, as my office that time, I actually got in a crutch for her, but I was like telling some professionals as well, one accountant like that, please, why can't we go and meet management? That they should just create, furnish a container for us. When we're coming in the morning, we bring our babies along, So one of us, again, with the mindset that we have Nigerians, like, hey, don't even start that. Don't take that to management. So when my maintenance told me that last week Friday, I was like, my God, it's like something that you actually wanted for a long time. I was so happy. So yesterday when she started, she called me. I said, what happened? She said she took a nanny along, and that, when such a thing is happening in the work area, you have total concentration on the job you're doing, because your baby is just near. Women will be facing. That's one out of many. So if we call all these our mentees, or call them back, as in, okay, what are the challenges? Let's face it together. Then we'll be able to go a long way. Yes, I tell you, STEM has gone a long way in this country, and we're still going higher, because that is what STEM is. It's not stagnant. It's a dynamic thing. So we're still going further.
Now, still science and technology as to make way as they profession later in life?
Thank you very much. You know, like the way our elders that actually, you know, thought about creating this association, the way they thought, we've not gotten there. But I assure you we're getting there. We are not yet there, but we're getting there in the sense that, you know, there's some packages that the association has that enhance, you know, these packages, they enhance the way a child will react. We, you know, we will be drawn to sciences, that will be drawn to STEM, in particular engineering. You know, we have many events in Apwen. We have some events it build it. We have some she engineer. Recently, there is a she engineer 30% club. 30% club in the sense that in any organization, you must have 30% female in that field. But we must start from somewhere. We must be ready to be able to find ourselves in that bracket of 30%. That is, at every 10 employees in an organization, 7 will be men, while 3 will be, no, that's 30% we're talking about. So how do we get ourselves there? That is when we actually encourage all these students, female students, so to say, to actually embrace this engineering. And when I say we're getting there is this. You know, all these events we do, there's one particular one that is targeted at making the engineering professions interesting. We had summer camps that we normally run in the association. There's one that is Maya Adetiba, technical boot camp for girls. So we just had one like 3 months ago when they were on their 3rd term holidays. So it's like all these daily activities that one does every day. So we bring it to them. As you don't see it as something out of blues. It's something you can do. Like this last program we had at the summer camp, we asked them to use straws to make bridges. Different schools, they use straws to make bridges. We now asked them to load it. So when they loaded it, some deflected so badly, some, you know, we now let them realize that it depends on the kind of materials you use for your structures that will make it, you know, sustainable or not, that will make the integrity to be high or not. And when they saw this, you know, they were able to process it as in, okay, so when a bad material is chosen to, you know, to make houses, that is why we're having collapses all here and there. Okay, the integrity of the materials matters. You know, it's something that they wouldn't have thought of if something of such was not done. Likewise, they were made to produce carbon dioxide, to make some mixtures that they, to, you know, the effervescent that to give off gas. That gas can be used to pump tires. You know, focalization also came into being. So they see every day-to-day thing that they see around that is nothing. If there's nothing like science, if there's nothing like engineering, there's nothing like technology, there's nothing like mathematics, they now realize that, oh, this is even the way of life. STEM is virtually the way of life. So to make it interesting to them, that's what the association is doing. Let them come and see that if you mix this and this together, it's not just that the bulb just came into being, the light just came into be something and something. It was from somebody had an idea that, okay, I should, when it is night, this place should be lit up. How can I do this? Okay, I should match this with this. So it's now, after the idea, research came into being. After the research, then there was invention. But that invention only brought about the normal bulb, that's the incandescent bulb, the yellow type. But after some time, innovation, that is STEM for you. STEM is dynamism. It's so dynamic in nature. So it is that dynamism that now brings about the innovation you see from that yellow bulb, incandescent bulb. We are now at LED, the energy-saving bulbs that they don't take much energy. With little voltage, they come up, and they will so light up the whole area well, even more than the way the normal incandescent bulb would do. So, you know, it will make it interesting to them, so that they don't see it as anything big deal. They see it as their own ways of life, that, okay, we want to make provision for humanity, we want to solve problem of humanity. So that's just it. So, and I know we're going to get there. Apwen has started well. Our elders have done so well, and we're getting there. Almost 40 years now that it has been existent, and we're still counting for positive changes around.
A few moments ago, you mentioned for building construction.
Yes, materials has a major role to play in getting a good, sustainable structure. But at the same time, it does not just start from materials. Something will come into being before you can talk of material, and that is when we talk about pre-construction stage. You know, there is pre-construction stage, there is construction stage, and there's post-construction stage. The pre-construction stage, what it does is this. That is when the client will say, okay, this is kind of building I want. Okay, who do I call to come and make this happen, to actually make this a reality? You just don't call anybody. You know, when you talk to any professional, what they will tell you is that quack, quack, quack. You know, at this pre-construction stage, whatever will happen to that building is being determined there. Start with the real experts, the professionals from the beginning. The professional will not want to dent his or her own image. So we let you know that these are the processes to be taken. You can't just go and start. Making your construction without, having your soil investigation. When you have the soil investigation, you'll be able to know the kind of load that you can apply to that particular area. How many story can that, the capacity of the soil around that area, how many floors can it take? When that is known, then you now say, okay, this is the kind of building I want. You call your professionals. The professional, I mean the architect, the engineer, the builders, the surveyors, all the professionals. Let them be there, so that everybody will take his or her own responsibility, that this is my own part in this particular construction. So when you do that, these people, especially engineer, he knows what he has designed. You know the kind of the rebars, that's the reinforcement, the ions you're talking about. You know the kind of ions that he has made provision for to be in those elements of the structure. But when it is a professional, that is when he will do that. I will make sure that the QA/QC, when I say QA, I mean the quality control, quality assurance, quality control on the site is being adhered to. And what I mean is that whatever he has stated in the design to be used must be what will be used on site. Sometimes now, even nowadays now, iron 12, it is iron 12 you have, the engineer has designed to be used for the particular columns or whatever. When you get to site, you'll be seeing 11 point something. That's it. When you use your caliper, you'll be seeing 11 point something mm instead of 12 mm. All this one, 11 point something instead of, let's say, 11.5. That 0.5 mm in many places, because the number of bars that will be used, in many places, it has reduced the integrity of it has reduced the tensile strength that was supposed to be in that particular structure. And definitely what will happen is like you having carcass, this skeleton in the body. The concrete that will be put on it, they're like the flesh. The rebars, the reinforcement iron is the skeleton. So when you don't have the proper, maybe where the arm is supposed to be, there's no bone there. What happens to the arm? You won't be able to lift it now. And before you know it, it becomes useless. And that's where the arm collapses. That's where the building collapses. So it's from the start that everything should be taken care of. From the start. Then you see the kind of building material they will supply on site. You see the right sizes of aggregate. Is it what they're bringing to the site for you to do your concrete mix with? Is it, all these things should be checked, and who will be the people that will check it? The quality control, quality assurance, and who will make sure that these people are on site are the professionals that you have engaged from the beginning of your project. So one thing leads to the other, and they are the one that will know that when this structure is already put in place, then it needs to be maintained. That's why I say pre-construction, construction, and post-construction. Sometimes when you look around Lagos State, there are some houses that if they've been well maintained, they would have been destroyed like what we're having. But because our mentality is that once you build, just leave it. Nobody is checking, is going back to check, what is happening to this structure. And like they move. They're not, we're just seeing them as a structure, as in they're stagnant. They're not. They move. So when they're not being taken care of, when they're not being maintained, that's their own maintenance, taken care of. What happens? they get distressed, and after some time, whatever they're holding, maybe they're in this form, when they're not being taken care of, they bring it down. So everything crumbles, and the house collapses.
Now,
So
let's talk about our local contents.
thank you.
One of the indigenous engineers in Nigeria are really playing a critical role in the engineering and technology profession.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When we talk about local content is so good, and I must give it to the government. They have really tried. They've, in fact, it's like, come to think of it, when you say local, from the word local itself, it means something within you. You don't need to look elsewhere. You have everything it takes to do whatever you want to do within your locality, within your environment. And for the mere fact that the government has given the kind of, let me say, they give you a kind of solidarity, let me put it that way, because you're no longer alone. Engineers are no longer alone. The local content is that you must be patronized first. They must look inward, as in, okay, what you've got to offer. So no, so that there won't be all these, there will be a kind of technology transfer, because like most of construction companies, you see all the expatriates, I mean the foreigners, you see them there. But most times, most of them, they've just come that, let's just come and earn our wages and go back. But with that local content, there must be transfer of technology. Whatever you are doing, local engineers must be part of that project, so that they learn, apart from what they've learned in school, at least hands-on experiments, hands-on works that they're doing. As you people, you design, you do it together, the actualization of it on site, which is construction itself, they're part of it, everything they know. So even by the time you leave, because it pays us more for that technology transfer, because we don't need ordinary maintenance. They're not supposed to be the one that will come and do the maintenance for us. We're supposed to do that maintenance. It's not okay when we want to maintain terminal bridge or any edifice like that. We must call the actual project team that put it down to come and no. The transfer of the technology must have been done within us, so that, and I tell you, Nigerian engineers, they're ready. It's just that we have some limitation, we have some challenges. Let me put it that way.
Like
challenges, yes. I say, we like, the government has helped us in a way with that policy, but is it being monitored? How many companies are they actually, seeing to the fact that technology should be transferred to the indigenous engineers or to the indigenous professionals? We need to be a kind of monitoring. Whatever one does in life, it is not being monitored. It amounts to nothing. So then the finances is part of it. I tell you, Nigerian engineers are great, but there is the finances. When you want to, maybe you want to do a project now, though it takes you to Captango, I can't take that away. We have our own share of faults as well, a share of the blames, because in engineering, it's togetherness. You cannot do it all alone. But you see some people, they're just there to gop all the profits. They will not call their counterpart. I'm a civil structural engineer by profession and training. As you see this particular building we're in, it's not only my work that is there. Civil work is there, electrical work is there, mechanical is there, and that is why it is engineering, teamwork. But some people, they just want to do it alone. They even prefer to go and call, maybe, how do I put it? To go and call somebody that doesn't even know about it, or because they want to take the larger share of the profits. So that is our own part. But government can also make the environment so conducive, in the sense that maybe, if it is construction what you want to do, or something that has positive impact on the environment, if you are to bring collateral, your own collateral will be lower, smaller than if it's another kind of project. Things like that will encourage engineers, especially the local ones, the indigenous ones, to go forth, take loans to do big projects. But when you get to the bank, the project, what do we call it, the profits on the loan itself, the actual amount you use to service the loan will be even be higher than the actual capital to do the project. So that discourages. So people will prefer that, oh, let me just get small thing. If I can get chance to just get a large part of the sum of the money, let me just. Sometimes you see construction works, maybe roads, they're being abandoned. It's not that the person doesn't important. And I tell you, we will get this from the government. Yes, they've done some part, then they should please, this finances aspect, they should please come into it so that, you know, more engineers will come out and, you know, let them see the wonders that they can do with what we've been, you know, taught and the experiences we've had so far.
Come start in some examples when one talks about
Yes, we're very much involved, and I will tell you this: when you know, when you say local content, shooting Nigeria into the limelight, into the global, like the vision of my own association now is like we want to be that catalyst to enhance the advancement of every female engineer in this profession towards what, that national, both national, when you say local content, the national, then now when you shoot Nigeria into limelight to the global and global technological advancement or development, all this, be it advancement or development, be it global, be it engineering itself, when you don't have STEM, you know, I'm going back to where we started from. When you don't have STEM, nothing can be done. Whether you want to shoot Nigeria to limelight or you want to go, nothing can be done without STEM. So this STEM we're talking about now, the Nigerian engineers, I'm telling you, they're seriously, you know, advocating for this. Is it coding? Is it data analysis? Is it every way? Nigerian engineers, they're finding every way to make sure that whatever little they do at their corner is being shot into the limelight, is being shot to the whole world. And where they are, we're having partnership with other engineers, not in this country, outside the country, African, American, Europe, because it is when you have this partnership with them, because they aid some of our programs. We have conferences, we do go to their conferences as well, they do come to Nigeria as well. And why is it being done this way? So that to rub minds, to exchange ideas. Oh, this is how it is happening in my country. How does it happen in your own country? Oh, this is what we do when it happens. This is, okay, let's rub minds. You know, sometimes, okay, even, let me bust the bubble. The STEM you're even talking about, have you heard of STEAM? Have you heard of STEAM? That is how far the STEM people, engineers, they've gone. Okay, when you say STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, we need something to push it out to the whole world, to know that this is what we're actually doing. A is introduced. What is A? That is STEAM, I'm saying, the variables of STEM. The STEAM, the A is the arts and architecture. When you have the STEM, you need something to push it out to people to admire. In as much as STEM enhances life, promotes advancement, then we need to show it to the whole world to see, and we need art to do that. That's the STEAM aspect. Then the stream aspect, they are now, that is there, is for reading. Yes, you have an idea. For your idea to become an invention, you need to read, you need to do researches upon researches. That is why, and if you cannot read, you cannot do any research. It's why you get that done, then your invention comes into being. And STEM, for what STEM is, the engineer, you cannot just be stagnant, because we're so proactive. We know that when it is yes, there should be no. So by the time no comes, we're already ready. We're being proactive. That okay, always be prepared, like just like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Be prepared. So when it doesn't go the way we want it, then what's the control? Oh, this is it. And that is why the invention that is being made before, it will now be innovated. There will be innovations to improve it, to make it better. Just like our forefathers were using leaves before to write. STEM, they made it into books. Then this time, they don't stop there. They still went ahead, the innovation comes. What do? It's even better now to write on your pad or your tablet. so as not to waste what, not to waste tree, you are saving. Yeah, that is afforestation. You know, time is all about everything. That's just it. We can't shy away from it. And it is engineering and technology that lets it come into reality. So, and our engineers in Nigeria, they actually, we do this by, you know, partnering with our counterparts all over the world. And when they see what we have, we are shooting Nigeria into limelight as well.
Thank
And
you
we
so
see
much.
them. Yes, thank you, sir.